Good morning, children. Today in Social Science and Economics in Class 9, we continue the chapter Food Security in India. We had talked about public distribution system, or what is known as the PDS. Now, the food procured by the FCI, that is the Food Corporation of India, is distributed through government regulated ration shops, which we call as fair price shops. And these ration shops or these fair price shops are the ones that are selling the essential commodities to the poor people. Now, these ration shops are present in most of the localities, villages, towns, and cities, and these shops are actually known as fair price shops. These shops keep stock of food grains, sugar, kerosene oil, and all. So, these are the things, and the important part is that these commodities, these items are sold at a lower price that we call as a issue price. So, a person can buy these essential commodities a stipulated amount from these fair price shops on the basis of the ration card that they possess. Now we come to the next program, that is Integrated Child Development Services, or what is also the ICDS. Now this was introduced in 1975 on an experimental basis. Its aim, were many, is to provide children up to 6 years of age supplementary nutrition so that they are able to enjoy good health, immunization to prevent them from diseases, health checkup, referral services, preschool, non-formal education, and nutrition and health education for their mothers, because it is the mothers who are going to look after these children. So if the mother is aware, sometimes these mothers are not educated, so if the mothers are educated regarding the health and the nutrition of the children, they probably will be able to look after the children in a better way, and the children will be able to have better health also. Now the third that we have is Food for Work program. Now Food for Work program is open to the people in the rural areas. Now, the main objective of the Food for Work program is generation of supplementary wage employment. It is open to all the people in the rural areas, and for those people who are in need of unskilled work wage employment, that is, those who are not trained or those who are not skilled, they have no skill in any work. So this is meant for those people. Now we come to the poverty alleviation programs. We do know that there is a lot of poverty in our country, and various measures, steps, programs, schemes have been launched in order to reduce the poverty level and in order to help the poor people also. If we see in the last few years, many poverty alleviation programs, that is the eradication of poverty, were launched mostly in the rural areas, because we find more level of poverty, although we have it in the cities also. Some of them have been restructured also so that they can be more effective. Some of these are employment programs which improve food security. The most important thing is that if people are employed, and if they are earning enough, then the problem is going to be solved. So some of these are employment programs which improve food security. How is this possible? By increasing the income of the poor people. That is important thing, that if a person is earning, the poor people, if they are able to earn enough, then obviously the needs of the family will be looked after and they will be able to provide enough food to the family. Then we have the examples are the different schemes or programs that we have regarding this is Rural Wage Employment Program. Then we have Employment Guarantee Scheme, Sampoorn Gramin Rozgar Yojana, and midday meals. So these are some of the schemes in order to help the people to help the poor people to eradicate poverty also, and so that they are food secure and they are able to provide enough food to the family and to the children. Now we have cooperatives. Now, what is the role of cooperatives in food security? We see that cooperatives play a very important role in food security. The role of cooperatives in food security of India is important, especially in the southern and western parts of India. These cooperative societies, they set up shops to sell low-priced goods to poor people. So basically, these shops which they set up, these cooperatives, they set up shops in order to help the poor people, so that the goods that they buy over there are lesser and lower price than the market price. So this is meant to help the poor people. In fact, we see that 94% of fair price shops which are running in Tamil Nadu are being run by the cooperatives. So we see that these cooperatives are playing a major role, an important role in Tamil Nadu. As an example, we see that these cooperative societies that we have, they set up shops where goods are sold at low price to the poor people. This is mainly to help and benefit the poor people. If there are various examples that we see. In Delhi, we have the Mother Dairy, which is very well known and renowned. Now, this Mother Dairy is making progress in provision of milk and products and vegetables, fruits and all, to the consumers at controlled rates, which are decided by the government of Delhi. So unlike the other shops in the market that we see, that they may charge more, but over here the price of milk and vegetables and all are fixed. So this is a great help to the consumer. So this is one example. Then we have another very important example and popular, that is Amul. It is another very successful example of cooperatives in milk and milk products from Gujarat. We have milk, we have butter, we have cheese, a whole range of cheese, and so many other milk products that they are providing to the people, to the consumers. It brought about the white revolution in the country. So this Amul played a very important role. That is how the white revolution was possible in the country. In Maharashtra, we see the Academy of Development Science, or ADS. It has facilitated a network of NGOs, that is non-governmental organizations. And how have they helped? They have set up grain banks in different regions, so that whatever the crops the farmers produce, they are not wasted or they are not spoilt at all. So in different regions, they have these grain banks so that they can store the surplus food grains. These also organize training and capacity building programs. So the people who are working with them, they are trained so that they can make the food security possible, and on the basis of their training and their skill, they are able to do well. They are able to work efficiently. This grain bank is successful and innovative food security intervention. So we see many a times that the crops, if the crop is there is a good harvest, but sometimes if it is left out in the open, then also the rain may spoil it, or rats and insects and all might eat up. So if there are proper such grain banks, the food can be stored well, and they can make it possible that it is available to the people rather than wasting the food, because we have so many people who are poor and we all need food. So food security, we see, is the availability, accessibility and affordability of food at all times and to all people. It is based on the public distribution system and timely action of the government. Measures are adopted to ensure food for the poor people through different schemes and programs. Even when there is a disaster or a natural calamity or there's a crop failure, then also it will not matter, because we have stored enough in as a buffer stock in our food grains. Thank you.